Welcome to Korean Cinema Channel. Today I would like to send you the following news. The world seemed to stop the moment Huang Wenbo spoke. Not in a quiet, measured way, but with the kind of intensity that made hearts race, breaths catch, and screens glow brighter with the weight of every word. "I love you, Yi Ying," he declared, his voice firm yet trembling with unspoken emotions. "You are my only choice." It was a confession that shattered the ordinary, tore through the mundane, and sent a shockwave across the hearts of everyone watching. People froze, unsure whether to cheer, cry, or simply stare in disbelief. The world of short dramas had seen many declarations of love, but none so unapologetically absolute, none that carried the intoxicating mix of desperation, desire, and determination that radiated from him from the very first glance they shared. There had been something electric between Huang Wenbo and Hae-in. Audiences had witnessed fleeting moments of connection, a brush of hands, a stolen look across a crowded room, a smile that lingered just a heartbeat too long. But those subtle sparks were nothing compared to this, the raw, undeniable admission that he would choose her above all else, above fear, above uncertainty, above everything. It wasn't just romance, it was a promise, a challenge, a tidal wave of emotion that demanded to be felt, not merely watched. The confession came after a storm of misunderstandings, teasing encounters, and private moments that had built tension almost to the breaking point. Huang Wenbo had been silent for too long, holding his feelings close, testing his own courage, wondering if the world, or Yi Ying herself, would ever understand the depth of his devotion. And then, in a moment that felt both sudden and inevitable, he let go. Words poured out like molten gold, warm, vibrant, and impossibly sweet, enveloping everyone around them in the intensity of a love that refused to be contained. Audiences felt it instantly. Social media exploded, hashtags trended, and fan forums lit up with endless discussions. People dissected every syllable, every inflection, every tremor in his voice. It was as if the confession had broken some invisible barrier between the screen and reality, drawing everyone into a shared heartbeat of anticipation and exhilaration. Even the most skeptical viewers could not deny it. Huang Wenbo's words carried a weight, a gravity, a sincerity that left hearts aching and smiles blooming in the same instant. And then there was Hae-in's reaction, a mixture of surprise, joy, and a delicate vulnerability that made the audience's hearts leap. Her eyes shone like sunlight on water, reflecting the depth of the emotions that words alone could not capture. Every twitch of her lips, every flicker of her gaze, told a story of someone suddenly realizing that the person they had been longing for had chosen them above all else. The tension between them was no longer a tease, it was a living, breathing force, tangible and irresistible. The scene unfolded like a symphony. Silence punctuated the air, only to be broken by a soft exhale, a step forward, a hand reaching out. The chemistry that had simmered for so long now erupted into a moment so charged it could ignite the entire screen. And just when viewers thought their hearts could bear no more, the moment crystallized into a finale of sweetness and passion that left no doubt in anyone's mind. It was more than a confession, it was an eruption of love so pure, so intense, and so overwhelming that it redefined everything that came before. In that instant, Huang Wenbo and Hae-in were not just characters in a drama, they were the embodiment of a truth too beautiful to ignore. Huang Wenbo's unwavering confession, "I love you, Yi Ying, you are my only choice," sent hearts soaring, setting the sweetness meter off the charts and leaving every viewer breathless with longing and delight. Even after that confession, the air between them seemed to hum with electricity. Huang Wenbo stood just a heartbeat away, his eyes fixed waveringly on Hae-in, and the world around them disappeared. Nothing else mattered, neither whispers of doubt, nor the crowded streets outside, nor the passing of time. Every pulse, every breath, every fleeting expression became magnified, intensified by the gravity of his words. It was as if love itself had taken physical form, wrapping around them in an invisible embrace that neither could resist. Hae-in's lips trembled with a smile that carried both disbelief and delight. For years, she had sensed something unspoken in Huang Wenbo's actions, the lingering touches, the quiet attentiveness, the way he seemed to know her thoughts before she spoke them. Yet even she had never imagined a declaration so unequivocal, so daring, and so devastatingly sweet. Her heart raced, her hands instinctively moved to cover her face, and then, as if drawn by a force stronger than reason, she let them fall, revealing a radiant blush that mirrored the intensity in his gaze. The tension between them was a dance of emotions, longing, hesitation, excitement, and a deep, almost sacred trust. Each second stretched into eternity, every movement deliberate yet impossibly fluid. Huang Wenbo reached out, his fingers brushing a strand of hair behind Hae-in's ear. The touch was gentle, intimate, and yet it carried the weight of every feeling he had held inside for so long. The warmth of his hand sent a shiver down her spine, and the electricity between them sparked once more, invisible to the outside world but blazing like wildfire in their hearts. Fans watching from afar could feel it too, the world collectively holding its breath as the drama unfolded. Social media erupted again, flooded with reactions of sheer awe, cries of "this is too sweet," and "I can't take this." Every replay, every pause, every zoom in on their expressions revealed nuances that made the heart flutter uncontrollably. Huang Wenbo and Hae-in had not just captured each other, they had captured the hearts of every viewer, creating a shared experience of love so intense it felt almost tangible. And then came the moment that no one could have predicted. With a sudden, natural motion, Huang Wenbo closed the distance between them completely, tilting his head slightly to meet Hae-in's lips in a kiss that was both gentle and fiery, tender yet consuming. Time seemed to collapse, the world outside fading to nothing as their hearts spoke a language older than words, louder than music, more powerful than any scene that had come before. Every heartbeat, every sigh, every tremor of emotion culminated in that single, unforgettable act. The kiss was more than a gesture, it was a release, a declaration, and a surrender all at once. It carried every ounce of longing, every whisper of devotion, and every flicker of vulnerability that had defined their journey. When they finally parted, their eyes locked again, and the silence that followed was heavy with meaning. No words were needed, every emotion had been laid bare, every doubt erased, every heart left racing. In that explosive, heart-melting moment, Huang Wenbo's unwavering love for Hae-in became undeniable, sending sweetness levels off the charts and leaving the world breathless with joy and longing. Thank you for watching my channel. See you in the next videos. Thanks.